In the timeless expanse of Mount Olympus, draped in its eternal glow, Zeus sat upon his golden throne, deep in contemplation. As the mighty king of the gods, his reign stretched over both the celestial and mortal realms. A harbinger of serenity and power, his thunderbolt stood as a symbol of his undisputed might. Yet, even the most powerful were not immune to the whispers of fate. Recently, a prophecy had reached Zeus, carried from the shadowed depths of the oracle's domain. A child born to him in Metis would outshine him in both power and wisdom. This portentous revelation planted a seed of unease within Zeus's formidable heart. Metis, the revered goddess of wisdom and thought, was renowned for her brilliance, embodying the very intellect that drew Zeus to her. However, the vision of being usurped by his own progeny filled him with foreboding. The thought swirled around him like a relentless storm, threatening to extinguish his well-cemented dominion. Thus, Zeus began to forge a plan, one cloaked in the subtleties that defined Metis' own realm. The air was charged with anticipation as Zeus approached Metis under the twilight canopy, awash in amber and fiery orange hues. The atmosphere was thick with a mysterious tension, as if the cosmos itself paused in anticipation of his next move. His words flowed like a gentle current, imbued with calm authority, intended to lull any suspicion Metis might harbor. He needed her confidence, for his plan hinged on it. Zeus skillfully engaged Metis in conversation, steering their discourse toward the captivating subject of transformation, an eternal fascination for the gods. As they spoke, the notion of metamorphosis danced between them, sharing the allure of shifting forms at will. Zeus watched as Metis, captivated by the intellectual challenge, delved deeper into the possibilities he wove with his words. Encouraged by the elegant tapestry spun by Zeus, Metis prepared to display her divine prowess. She first assumed the form of an imposing eagle, soaring high above the clouds, her wings cutting through the twilight's waning light. Then, in a seamless transition, her essence shifted into the curves of a graceful serpent, coiling around the polished stone columns. Her curiosity, piqued by Zeus's unwavering interest, drove her to assume progressively smaller forms until she reduced herself to a diminutive fly. In that moment of transition, Zeus acted with the precision of a craftsman, swiftly executing the plan that had taken root in the wake of the oracle's words. He swallowed Metis, driven by the desire to stave off the prophecy's ominous shadow. Within him, Metis began an existence unprecedented in divine memory, her wisdom becoming an integral part of Zeus himself. Though enclosed within Zeus, Metis was far from subdued. Her thoughts, brighter than sunlight on Olympus, mingled with his own. The goddess of thought and strategy began to infuse her eternal wisdom into Zeus, nurturing his once singular might with newfound acuity. As the day surrendered to night, she became the subtext of his thoughts, enriching his rule with intellect and foresight. This intimate union bore immediate and profound effects. Zeus, once reliant solely on strength, found himself wielding a power blended with the brilliance of Metis. The divine muse within him sculpted his decisions and broadened his perceptions. Under the cosmic embrace of the night, an inevitable path unfolded, as if Zeus's decisive act was but the prelude to a narrative woven by destiny itself. As the tale lingered in the chronicles of Olympus, hinting at the commencement of an unforeseen journey, the day yielded to a tranquil twilight. A serene breeze stirred among the immortals, whispering quietly of change and burgeoning insight. Each star appeared with the promise of a new beginning veiled in prophetic intent. The seeds of greater wisdom had been sown within Zeus, setting the stage for events that would soon test the very essence of his godhood. In these moments, a new saga began its crescendo, heralded silently by the night winds of fate. Awaiting its inevitable unfolding, This chapter in Olympus would soon tell of Athena's remarkable birth, destined to challenge Zeus not in rivalry, but through enlightenment and growth. Time, in the timeless realm of Mount Olympus, flowed like a gentle stream. However, for Zeus, the river of time brought currents of discomfort. Ever since he had swallowed Metis, her presence within him began to stir something profound. Initially, it was a mere whisper of unease that barely rose above the music of the winds. But as the days and nights passed inexorably, like the constellations wheeling across the night sky, the whispers grew into a crescendo of pain. The mighty ruler of Olympus, known for his indomitable strength and will, was plagued by an increasingly severe headache that felt like a storm brewing within his very being. The pain soon transcended mere discomfort and began to wreak havoc on the serene routine of Mount Olympus. From every corner of this celestial realm, the normally untroubled faces of the gods bore hints of concern as the tranquility of their divine home was disrupted by Zeus's uncharacteristic behavior. He winced and moaned, his great hands clutching his temples as if trying to hold back the overwhelming tide. Even the endless feasts and lively debates stalled when Zeus's thundering groans echoed in the divine halls, making the other gods exchange uneasy glances. It was evident that something extraordinary was unfolding amidst them. Desperate for relief, Zeus summoned his fellow gods to council. From the highest peaks they gathered, their robes shimmering under the clear, bright skies. Among them was Hephaestus, the blacksmith of the gods, known for his inventive genius and skilled craftsmanship. Despite his typically calm demeanor, Hephaestus approached Zeus with visible concern. As he listened to Zeus recount the strange phenomenon affecting him, his mind began to forge a plan, much like the way he forged weapons and armor in his fiery workshop. Meanwhile, the other gods mingled in quiet conversation, sharing their speculations on what might be causing Zeus such distress. Some murmured about the prophecy they had all heard, of a child destined to surpass Zeus. Yet none could have predicted the form in which this prophecy would manifest. Understanding the urgency of the situation, Hephaestus set to work crafting his tools. His skilled hands moved with precision as he prepared the implements necessary for an unprecedented remedy. With each stroke and clang, he turned raw materials into a solution that only he could provide. The gods, keenly aware that a pivotal moment was at hand, watched intently, their hearts filled with reverence for the work of their skilled brother. They trusted Hephaestus to deliver Zeus from his tormenting plight. When the tools were ready, Hephaestus approached Zeus, who sat mighty yet burdened on his throne. With a steady hand, the blacksmith god raised his axe. The air felt charged with anticipation, as if the very essence of Olympus held its breath. Hephaestus swung the tool with precision and power, delivering a single decisive blow to the forehead of the king of gods. It was a moment so dramatic, yet carried out with such serene intent that it seemed time itself paused to watch the outcome. As the axe cleaved through the divine flesh, from the cleft in Zeus's cranium, bathed in golden light, emerged Athena, fully grown and resplendent in her gleaming armor. She stood tall and magnificent, her eyes bright with wisdom, a testament to the prophecy fulfilled in an unexpected manner. The gods, awestruck, beheld the birth of the goddess of wisdom and warfare, realizing that the child meant to surpass Zeus had indeed come forth, not as a threat, but as a harmonious addition to their divine family. The atmosphere, once tense with anticipation, softened as Athena stepped forth. Her presence immediately calmed the chaos her birth had caused. Her armored form shone under the bright, majestic skies of Mount Olympus, symbolizing not just strength, but the wisdom she embodied. Though born of a dramatic act, her arrival brought an undeniable sense of equilibrium, as if the cosmos had righted itself. The gods welcomed her with admiration and wonder, their foreboding transformed into respect, and awe. In that serene moment, Zeus, who had been relieved of his agony, looked upon Athena with an expression of profound relief and acceptance. The prophecy that had haunted him found its resolution not in conflict, but in the unexpected marvel of Athena's wise demeanor. As Zeus acknowledged her presence, a new understanding settled over him, a recognition that his action had not sealed his doom, but instead enriched the pantheon with new wisdom and strength. Athena's remarkable emergence reaffirmed the divine order in a way that nobody had anticipated, weaving the prophecy into the tapestry of Olympus' destiny. Her birth heralded a new era, one where wisdom and fairness would guide both gods and mortals. Among the gathered deities, Athena's eyes met theirs with a promise of insight and guidance. As Athena integrated into the divine gatherings, it became clear that her role would be significant. Her influence would ripple through the halls of godly realms and the hearts of mortals alike, marking the dawn of an enlightened era. With the drama of her birth complete, she awaited her place among the gods, preparing to step into her destiny in a world eager for her wisdom. As Athena stood amidst the grandeur of Mount Olympus for the first time, her presence was nothing short of transformative. Born fully grown and armored from the head of Zeus, she was a beacon of wisdom and strength. The gods and goddesses gathered, their eyes filled with awe at this remarkable new entity within their midst. Her composed demeanor and sharp intellect quickly made an impression on all who beheld her. There was a serenity in how she carried herself, a divine understanding that resonated through the halls of the gods' abode. Upon her arrival, Athena's wise nature immediately became apparent. Her innate intelligence and strategic insights shone brightly, reflecting a depth of wisdom that seemed beyond her years, though she had not experienced the passage of time in a mortal sense. The other gods were drawn to her, seeking her perspective on matters both trivial and grand. Zeus watched with a subtle fatherly pride as Athena seamlessly integrated into the divine tapestry of Olympus, her birth signaling not just the fulfillment of a prophecy, but also the dawn of a new era on the mountain. Athena took her rightful place as the goddess of wisdom and warfare. This dual aspect set her apart, embodying both the pursuit of knowledge and the art of strategy. Unlike the chaotic nature often associated with warfare, Athena's approach was measured and judicious. She emphasized strategy and planning over brute force. Her insight was eagerly sought in the divine councils, where her words carried weight and clarity. Through the wisdom she imparted, she fostered a greater sense of unity and purpose among the gods. The goddess was soon granted her symbolic attributes, which held profound meaning. The owl, a creature known for its keen sight and nocturnal nature, became a representation of Athena's perceptive wisdom. Likewise, the olive tree, a symbol of peace and prosperity, was closely associated with her. These symbols mirrored her nurturing influence on both divine and mortal realms. They were not mere accessories, but extensions of Athena's identity and her role within the pantheon. They served as reminders of her enduring mission to bring insight and harmony to the world. One day, Hera approached Athena with a dilemma regarding the distribution of duties among the gods. Athena listened intently, her gaze steady and thoughtful. With her characteristic poise, she suggested a more equitable division, ensuring that each deity's strengths were utilized effectively. Hera nodded in agreement, realizing the wisdom in Athena's words. This interaction cemented Athena's reputation as a capable counselor, adept at balancing fairness with the complexities of divine politics. Beyond the realm of the divine, mortals too began to recognize Athena's significance and worship her as a protector. Her tales spread across the lands, reaching the ears of those who admired her wisdom and strength. She was revered not only as a deity of war, but more importantly as a beacon of reason and fairness. Temples dedicated to Athena sprang up in cities and villages, where altars bore the symbols of her wisdom, owls and olive branches, in tribute to her benevolent guidance. Among mortals, one craftsman named Eudoros felt a particular devotion to Athena. Inspired by tales of her wisdom, he decided to build a small temple in her honor, nestled within a grove of olives. As he worked, he often found himself contemplating the goddess's teachings, which fostered harmony and ingenuity in his craft. The temple soon became a gathering place for those who sought Athena's guidance, and Eudoros felt her presence guiding his handiwork, attributing his newfound skills to her influence. Athena's commitment to guiding heroes marked a pivotal turn in her role among both gods and humans. Her strategic mind and understanding of human nature equipped her to support those who sought to achieve great deeds. She became a divine guide for heroic figures, lending them her wisdom and foresight. Her ability to inspire strategy over simple valor was a gift she bestowed upon those chosen to undertake difficult quests. In doing so, Athena not only shaped the courses of individual destinies, but also influenced the broader narrative of heroism and virtue. In her interactions with both gods and mortals, Athena set forth a model of leadership and wisdom that resonated across generations. Her presence on Mount Olympus not only fulfilled the ancient prophecy, but also instilled a legacy of enlightenment and justice that would endure through the ages. As the goddess of wisdom and warfare took her place in the pantheon, a subtle shift took root, one that would guide the actions and values of both immortals and humans alike. As Athena prepared to extend her influence further, she turned her gaze toward the mortal realm, where heroes awaited her guidance. The stage was set for her first encounter with a mortal hero, one that would further solidify her role as both a wise counselor and protector of those who aspired to greatness. From the majestic heights of Mount Olympus, where the air shimmered with divine presence, Athena observed the world below, attentively watching the struggles and triumphs of mortals. Her gaze, both discerning and compassionate, lingered on those who sought wisdom and justice. As the goddess of wisdom and warfare, she understood the burdens that heroes carried. Their quests often intertwined strength with strategy, and she knew her guidance could make all the difference. As she pondered who might benefit from her wisdom, one hero particularly caught her attention: Perseus, embarking on his perilous quest. Perseus's journey was daunting, indeed monumental in its challenge. Tasked with the formidable quest of slaying Medusa, a gorgon whose gaze transformed the living into stone, Perseus faced what appeared to be an insurmountable feat. Yet, it was this very quest, marked by fear of failure as much as the hope of success, which captivated Athena. In Perseus, she saw not only raw courage, but the embodiment of her ideals, courage tempered with wisdom. Athena perceived an opportunity to bestow her strategic guidance upon him, ensuring his purpose and prowess aligned. Recognizing the lethal peril that lay in Perseus's path, Athena knew that brute strength and valor alone would not suffice. What he needed was a strategy, one rooted in the sharpness of insight. With clear intentions, Athena graced Perseus with a polished shield, an instrument not designed for attack but for reflection. This mirrored surface was no ordinary shield. It was a masterpiece of strategy, a device enabling Perseus to behold Medusa's deadly visage indirectly, avoiding the petrifying gaze. As Perseus ventured forth with this tool of divine insight, the dynamics of his quest shifted favorably, the scales tipping subtly but significantly in his favor. Entering the lair of Medusa, Perseus wielded the shield as if it were his own eyes, navigating through the shadows reflected within. The shield mirrored the monstrous countenance that no mortal could bear to see directly. Guided arduously by Athena's wisdom, Perseus advanced with precision, each step calculated with meticulous care. Thanks to Athena's intervention and Perseus's own steadfast bravery, He managed the seemingly impossible, severing Medusa's head, a heroic triumph underscored by divine brilliance. This victory was emblematic not only of Perseus's valor, but of Athena's sage influence and acute perception. Athena's attention, however, was not confined to a single hero. Her realm extended to many, and among them was Hercules, a figure laden with arduous labors. Set to the task by the king Eurystheus, Hercules faced trials that challenged both his strength and endurance. Athena recognized in Hercules a spirit of determination and fortitude akin to her own ideals. With an encompassing vision, she pledged her guidance, keen on ensuring Hercules' labors were approached with strategic grace rather than sheer force. Through the subtle whispers of the divine winds, she imparted wisdom to Hercules, steering him to rely not solely on physical might, but on thoughtful tactics as well. When tasked with capturing the fleet-footed Ceryneian hind, Athena's advice was indispensable, teaching him patience and cunning over simple chase. Similarly, in cleansing the Augean stables, Athena's counsel encouraged foresight and ingenuity. She encouraged Hercules to analyze each trial's nature, urging him to tackle each with the calculated resolve of a tactician. Through Athena's tutelage, Hercules' understanding deepened, each labor not only accomplished but transforming, underscoring the invaluable nature of divine counsel. In moments of repose following each victory, Hercules reflected with gratitude on Athena's assistance. Her role as a protector, distinguished by subtle influence rather than overt intervention, did not escape his notice. As Hercules continued on his journey of heroism, the wisdom he acquired from Athena enriched his path and expanded his understanding of true heroism. For Athena, every act of counsel woven into the tapestry of mortal endeavor magnified her presence as a guardian of heroes, a beacon casting light on wisdom, strategy, and the equilibrium between mortal enterprise and divine foresight. Through her actions with Perseus and Hercules, Athena's influence in the mortal realm broadened remarkably. Her assistance was not mere interference. It was empowerment, fulfilling her intrinsic need to imbue wisdom and justice amidst the interplay of gods and men. Each hero she guided became part of her enduring legacy, their successes intertwined with her insights. As the ancient Greek sky draped itself in shades of pink and purple, Athena's presence resembled the polished shield she once bestowed, a reflection of serene yet potent influence upon the world of mortals. Her mission, though substantial, was far from complete. Athena remained poised to extend her wisdom beyond heroics, destined to become a guiding force for those seeking enlightenment and heroism in various forms. Her influence would continue to stretch across the myths, reaching out to more mortals who ventured through life's intricate challenges, strengthening their quests with the enduring gift of divine strategy and justice. As these stories unfolded, Athena's commitment to nurturing the souls of those she guided stood unwavering, her legacy undying, her wisdom a perpetual light in the ancient world. In the realm of mortals, there thrived a young weaver by the name of Arachne. Her tapestries were renowned across the lands as intricate designs flowed from her fingertips, seemingly bringing the divine essence of the world to life. Yet as her fame spread, so too did her pride, leading her to boast that her weaving surpassed even that of Athena, the goddess entwined with wisdom and craft. These whispers of arrogance reached Athena, who observed the mortal world from the serene heights of Mount Olympus. Rather than wrath, Athena felt curiosity, wondering about the mortal who dared to compare herself to a goddess. Driven by a sense of intrigue and a wish to impart wisdom, Athena decided to visit Arachne disguised as an elderly woman. As the sun bathed the earth in its warm glow, Athena descended. Cloaked in the guise of age, she walked into Arachne's bustling workshop where threads danced to the loom's rhythm. Softly, she spoke, her voice a gentle whisper over the room's din. "Child," she began, "temper your heart's pride. Wisdom lies in reverence for the divine gifts bestowed upon us." But Arachne laughed, dismissing the advice. Her confidence in her skills was unshaken, her prideful heart untouched. Observing Arachne's dismissal, Athena's form shimmered and changed, revealing the goddess in her full divine splendor. Her armor gleamed with a calm power, solidifying her divine presence. Despite the revelation, Arachne's heart did not waver in fear, but instead burned with a competitive spirit. Athena recognized the determination in her eyes and proposed a contest, a weaving duel to determine whose skill truly reigned supreme. The terms were simple: let their woven art speak. Seated at their looms, the air filled with the rhythmic dance of shuttles. Arachne's fingers wove with fervor, threads forming vivid images that detailed the gods' imperfections. Her work, rich in hue and story, was audacious in its candid defiance of divine infallibility. Opposite her, Athena wove with serene elegance, her tapestry a tribute to the gods' glory. Each scene she crafted captured Olympus's majesty, a reflection of her respect and comprehension of the divine order. Their finished works, displayed side by side, revealed not only Arachne's technical prowess, but also her bold challenge to the gods. Every onlooker marveled at the tapestry's beauty but sensed the audacity in Arachne's creation. Athena, gazing on Arachne's work, experienced mixed emotions. Admiration for the artistry mingled with concern over the irreverence displayed. Rather than anger, she felt compelled to impart a lesson in humility. With a tender touch on the shoulder, Athena initiated Arachne's transformation. The change was both transformative and considerate. Arachne's body grew slender, limbs becoming a web of intricacy. As her human form receded, Arachne took on the shape of a spider, a being predestined to weave forevermore. This act was not born of malice, but as an enduring lesson, a narrative about humility and the divine balance of talents. Through Arachne's metamorphosis, Athena offered the world a cautionary tale of the need for respect and recognition of the gods' gifts. As Athena departed, the timeless sun cast its warmth, while Arachne, now a spider, continued to weave webs that glistened like fine lace. Even in her transformed state, her legacy of skill persisted, woven into the world's fabric. This tale of the skilled weaver and the goddess reflects the balance of pride, skill, wisdom, and humility. As Athena ascended back to her divine home, the story of Arachne lingered in the annals of myth, reminding all of the patterns crafted by divine hands. Athena hoped that, through Arachne's eternal weaving, humility would find its way into the hearts of those who bore great talent. Athena's thoughts drifted to other tales awaiting her guidance, of heroes whose paths she would shape with wisdom. Her eyes embraced the horizon, knowing her influence would continue to be woven into the narrative of mortal lives, ensuring that balance and humility remained interlaced with greatness. Long ago, in the heart of ancient Greece, the burgeoning city of Athenaeum, destined to be known as Athens, sought a divine protector to guide its future. The citizens aspired for a patron deity whose virtues mirrored their own aspirations of wisdom, peace, and prosperity. This earnest call for a protector reached the heights of Mount Olympus, drawing the attention of two prominent gods, Poseidon, the formidable ruler of the seas, and Athena, the sagacious goddess of wiles, wisdom, and warfare. In the realm of the gods, words of a contest echoed. Poseidon and Athena agreed to present their gifts to the city of Athenaeum, letting the people choose their patron deity. This contest was not merely a competition of strength or grandeur, but a reflection of the ideals that the fledgling city held dear. Poseidon, with his usual vigor, approached the city first. Atop the rocky terrain, with the city's citizens watching, he struck the ground powerfully with his trident. The earth vibrated, and a majestic saltwater spring emerged, a testament to Poseidon's command over the aquatic realms. Its waters shimmered impressively under the bright sun, a metaphor for the vast and untamed power of the sea. However, when the Athenians tasted the water, its salinity rendered it undrinkable. Despite its grandeur, the spring offered little practical utility for the daily lives of the people. Athena's turn was marked by a deep, contemplative calm. Choosing a fertile spot within the city, she planted a seed. Under the gathered sunlit sky, the seed burst forth into an olive tree, its silvery leaves dancing gently in the breeze. This tree was more than mere foliage. It promised nourishment through oil and fruit, wood for crafting, and an enduring symbol of peace. The olive tree resonated deeply with the Athenians, representing sustenance that extended beyond physical needs to encompass economic vitality and a harmonious existence. As the Athenians weighed the gifts before them, they engaged in lively debates. The magnificence of Poseidon's saltwater spring, while awe-inspiring, could not satiate and sustain them. In contrast, Athena's olive tree, though simple, offered enduring benefits and encapsulated the promise of prosperity and stability. The choice became evident. They declared Athena their patron goddess, preferring wisdom and abundance over raw might. Poseidon, though initially discontented with the city's choice, reflected upon the wisdom in their decision. In his acceptance lay a recognition of Athena's insight and the respectful rapport inherent among the Olympian gods despite their rivalries. The saltwater spring remained, a testament to the sea's majesty, but it was the olive tree that stood as the heart of the city, nurturing its people through the ages. Under the watchful guidance of Athena, the olive tree thrived. Its presence symbolized an unbroken chain of prosperity and peace that the citizens embraced with gratitude. In honor of their divine protector, they dedicated festivals and rituals, celebrating her wisdom and eternal guidance. The imprint of Athena's wisdom was not limited to immediate sustenance. It wove into the very fabric of Athenian life, influencing their approach to governance, art, and philosophy. Choosing Athena as their protector, Athens laid its foundations on the tenets of peace and prosperity. As the olive tree grew, its influence reached beyond the present, shaping the city's cultural and societal landscape. The fruits of her guidance were evident in the flourishing of democracy, the flowering of arts, and the emergence of philosophy as a cornerstone of their society. This tale of divine contest and the amicable resolution underscored a central truth: balance. It echoed the harmonious relationship between gods and mortals, and the alignment of divine gifts with mortal needs. As the sun cast a warm glow over the cityscape, Athena continued to watch over the people, her presence and wisdom woven intricately into their destiny. The olive tree stood as a testament to Athena's benevolence and the enduring gift she bestowed upon the city that would forever bear her name. It was a symbol of her nurturing spirit and the prosperity that blossomed under her watchful eyes, encapsulating the gentle, guiding hand of a goddess forever woven into the life of Athens. Reflecting upon these events, Athena embraced her role with a dignified grace, knowing her influence on Athens was profound and eternal. The olive tree would forever be a touchstone for the city's identity, and the goddess's wisdom a guiding light for all those who sought its refuge. As the narrative of the goddess's gift to the city concludes, so begins a new chapter of Athena's broader impact on Greek society, where her wisdom extends beyond mere city bounds to influence realms of justice and virtue, shaping not only the present but also the hope for future generations. Within the hallowed halls of Mount Olympus, amidst the clear and bright skies that stretched endlessly above, Athena presided over a chamber where divine disputes were brought for resolution. The assembly of gods and goddesses sought her judicious wisdom, often turning to her when balances tipped precariously amidst the realm of the immortals. Known for her resolute fairness, Athena's presence imbued the atmosphere with a sense of balanced deliberation, a calm befitting her role as the goddess of wisdom and law. Athena's reputation for fairness extended far beyond Olympus. Her influence reached the realm of mortals, where human affairs often found themselves mired in complex moral labyrinths. With her scales of justice in hand, she became a beacon for those who sought guidance. The mortal world, inspired by her balanced approach, began appealing to her principles of equity and fairness, recognizing in her the embodiment of true, unyielding wisdom. In Athens, her profound impact was felt most strongly with the establishment of the Areopagus, a council reflecting her dedication to just governance. This venerable assembly became a cornerstone of Athenian society, echoing Athena's belief in fair trials and impartial rulings. The Areopagus stood as a testament to her influence on legal matters, shaping the city's destiny and ensuring that justice was served not by might, but by reason and balanced advocacy. One of the most famous demonstrations of Athena's judicious nature was during the conflict involving Apollo and the Furies over Orestes, a trial that would cement her role in divine justice. Orestes stood accused of a grave crime, and the Furies, ancient deities of vengeance, demanded retribution. Apollo, acting in defense of Orestes, contended that his actions, though violent, were justifiable. The matter was brought to Athena, who saw the need for a council to adjudicate such perilous issues. In this critical moment, Athena introduced the concept of mercy within justice. Presiding over the trial, she listened intently to both sides, weighing each argument with diligence. When the council reached a deadlock, it was Athena who cast the deciding vote in favor of Orestes' acquittal, illustrating that justice must also harbor compassion. Through this decision, she revealed that true justice did not solely reside in unwavering punishment, but also in mercy and understanding, transforming the divine narrative of justice. Appeased by Athena's sound judgment, the Furies were integrated into societal harmony as the Eumenides, protectors of justice rather than agents of vengeance. This transformation marked a pivotal shift, demonstrating Athena's power to balance retribution with mercy. Her actions forged a new path where justice prevailed through thoughtful adjudication, forever changing how both mortal and divine beings viewed the scales of justice. Athena's principles did not end with the integration of the Furies. Her teachings permeated through every stratum of Greek society, influencing their legal system, governance, and the very ethos of Athenian democracy. The standards she set became pillars of lawful and ethical conduct, encouraging leaders to deliberate wisely, judge fairly, and embody the virtues that Athena so expertly modeled on Olympus. Through Athena's enduring legacy, justice became more than just a decree. It became a harmonious melody resonating across Olympus and beyond, binding gods and humans alike in the pursuit of ethical existence. Her discerning wisdom continues to inspire, guiding the architects of law as they attempt to illuminate the path toward fairness and respect. As the scales of justice continued to weigh the deeds within Olympus and the human realm, Athena remained a paragon of enlightenment and wisdom. Her contribution to the conception of justice laid the foundational stones not only for Athens, but potentially for civilizations that admired her counsel. Through her unwavering commitment to rationality and fairness, Athena's influence transcended borders and epochs, nurturing a world where equitable judgment and compassion walked hand in hand. In the tranquil glow of Mount Olympus, Athena looked upon the mortal realms with a calm satisfaction. Her example had reached deep into the roots of society, nurturing seeds of justice that would one day grow into mighty trees of knowledge and compassion. Athena's influence was not bound by the ancient walls of Athens or the towering peaks of Mount Olympus. Her wisdom, like a gentle breeze, traveled far beyond the familiar landscapes of Greece. As she took her place among the pantheon of gods, her reputation spread swiftly across the Mediterranean. The tales of her wisdom and strategic acumen captivated many, from traders to seafarers, who carried her stories along the vast routes of the ancient world. They spoke of the goddess whose insights shaped not only warfare, but also peace and prosperity. As these stories traveled, they mingled with the myths and cultures of distant lands. Many civilizations found parallels between their own deities and Athena's traits. For cultures around the Mediterranean, adapting her attributes to local legends was a natural evolution. Athena's strategic wisdom was echoed in the deities of these lands, and her steadfast nature resonated with their beliefs. As varied as these tales became, they shared the core essence of a goddess who represented wisdom, justice, and valor. In Rome, Athena's attributes were assimilated into the persona of Minerva. Her wisdom, now cloaked in a new name, continued to guide and inspire those who sought counsel in difficult times. Minerva became more than a simple reflection of Athena. She evolved into a symbol of intellectual pursuit and arts. The tales of her strategic prowess were interwoven with the burgeoning Roman culture, which revered her as a patroness of wisdom and crafts. Her influence, though modified to fit the context of Rome, remained undeniably powerful, speaking to the universal qualities Athena embodied. As these ideas unfolded, the stories and traditions surrounding Athena gained traction, shaping legends across regions. The concept of a wise and strategic goddess became a common thread, weaving tales and language that reflected her enduring presence. Wherever she was invoked, Athena's embodiment of wisdom transcended her origin, becoming a reassuring presence for those in need of guidance. Her name, though different in pronunciation, carried the same weight and respect across various cultures. Art and literature were not untouched by Athena's expanding influence. Artists and writers found inspiration in her stories, creating works that spanned mosaics, sculptures, and epic narratives. Through these artistic renditions, Athena's image and ideals were immortalized, allowing succeeding generations to witness the enduring power of her wisdom. Her likeness adorned walls and amphitheaters, a testament to her reach into the very fabric of civilization. Seers and oracles, too, felt the pull of Athena's timeless wisdom. In their sacred spaces, they called upon her guidance before divining the future or making weighty decisions. These spiritual practices, enriched by Athena's insights, were scattered across the lands, instilling her presence in both mortal and divine matters. Her influence was a cornerstone for those who looked to the heavens for clarity and foresight. Throughout this vast realm of antiquity, Athena's legacy grew, adapted, and flourished. Her tales became part of a living tradition, passed from one generation to the next, each adding to her mythos. As the sands of time shifted and empires rose and fell, Athena's wisdom remained a beacon for those who sought balance between harsh realities and hopeful aspirations. Through it all, Athena's influence did not wane. Her ideals were woven into the philosophical frameworks that guided civilizations. Her olive tree, once a simple gesture for the city of Athens, now stood as an enduring emblem of peace, underscoring the value she placed upon harmony and prosperity. Her symbols, the owl, the olive, and her helm, were carried forward by a tapestry of cultures, each recognizing Athena's timeless relevance. As twilight faded into dawn, the echoes of Athena's wisdom continued to resound across the continents. Through centuries and through change, her story remained a constant, adapted by countless hands and minds. Her legacy, like a gentle shoreline, softened even the most turbulent of human endeavors, whispering of a time where wisdom and justice carved their intricate paths through the world. It is an eternal testament that Athena's designs were not merely bound to ancient Greece, but have spread like seeds carried on the winds, seeding the foundations of knowledge and understanding in a standing. Myriad forms across the world, in the quiet hum of modernity, Athena's story weaves through the fabric of our contemporary world, showcasing her influence that transcends time and geography. Scholars and enthusiasts of mythology often turn their gaze back to Athena, scrutinizing her qualities and understanding their enduring relevance today. As the embodiment of wisdom and strategic warfare, Athena's presence is unmistakable in the corridors of intellectual pursuits. Her image as a symbol of wisdom lives on in minds engaged in the search for knowledge, serving as a muse for those who navigate the intricate paths of academia and strategy. Athena's influence finds new life in the strategies of contemporary leaders and thinkers. Her approach to warfare, characterized by strategy and intellect rather than brute force, provides valuable lessons to strategists and decision-makers in the modern world. This wisdom transcends physical battlegrounds, infiltrating boardrooms and think tanks where strategic foresight and calculated decisions are vital. Athena's legacy as a tactician is revered for inspiring modern strategists to weigh their moves carefully, ensuring that wisdom prevails over reckless ambition. As we step into museums and public spaces, we encounter artistic representations of Athena that perpetuate her legacy. In sculptures and paintings, Athena stands tall, her helmet and spear evocative of her role as a warrior goddess, and her serene countenance a testament to her wisdom. These artistic impressions continue to inspire and captivate viewers, reminding them of the timeless appeal of her virtues. The presence of Athena in art not only enriches the cultural landscape, but also speaks to her enduring role as an icon transcending time. Symbols of Athena permeate our world in logos and emblems that adorn educational institutions and intellectual societies. The owl, a creature closely associated with Athena, often graces the insignias of universities and academies, echoing her attributes of wisdom and keen insight. These symbols serve as beacons of learning and enlightenment, reminding us of Athena's historical contributions to education and intellect. Her symbols are woven into the very identity of institutions that strive to impart knowledge and cultivate understanding. In the realm of social movements, particularly those advocating for gender equality and women's empowerment, Athena emerges as a powerful symbol. Modern feminist movements have embraced her narrative, seeing in Athena the embodiment of strength and independence. Her portrayal as a strong female figure inspires women to pursue their aspirations confidently, challenging societal norms and breaking barriers. Athena's myth is invoked in campaigns and speeches, resonating with those who view her as an advocate for justice and equality. Athena's narrative finds itself nestled within the pages of academic courses and literature, studied by scholars and students alike who seek to understand her impact. Her stories offer rich material for analysis and debate, providing insights into ancient beliefs and their implications in today's world. Courses on mythology, history, and literature delve into her tales, unearthing themes of power, wisdom, and fairness. Through these studies, Athena's myth is continually reinterpreted, allowing each generation to extract new meanings and lessons. As the threads of Athena's myth reach across time, her story serves as a beacon of wisdom and strategy, even in the contemporary culture. Her values and principles resonate in discussions about leadership, ethics, and governance, highlighting the relevance of her attributes in crafting a just and informed society. Athena's narrative fosters dialogue about the balance between strength and intellect, urging leaders to blend courage with wisdom in their actions. As this chapter closes, we reflect on how Athena's story echoes in the minds of today's thinkers and leaders. Her image is retained in the collective consciousness as an emblem of wisdom, strategy, and strength, continually inspiring new interpretations and applications. The myth of Athena, as enduring as the olive tree she once gifted to Athens, remains steadfast, offering guidance and enlightenment to those who seek wisdom. Her narrative gently guides us into a future where her principles shape minds and inspire actions across the ages. As dawn broke over a serene ancient Greek landscape, the gentle light of the rising sun bathed an olive tree in a soft, golden glow, An owl, a symbol of wisdom, perched on one of its sturdy branches, surveying the surroundings with quiet vigilance. This was the enduring scene that captured the essence of Athena's legacy, a legacy that spanned centuries, deeply woven into the fabric of human culture and history. Athena's story begins with her miraculous birth and extends into her lasting impact on wisdom and justice. The tale of her emergence from Zeus's head, fully armored and ready, stands as a testament to the power of intellect over brute force, a theme that resonates just as powerfully in today's world. Athena's principles have found their way into modern governance and law, influencing how societies shape their rules and judiciaries. Her wisdom and commitment to justice serve as guiding lights for those involved in the complex realms of politics and law. In the modern pursuit of knowledge and fairness, Athena's ideals are ever present. The quest for understanding and equity in our daily lives reflects the goddess's own dedication to guiding humanity with a steady, insightful hand. Her teachings remind us to balance strategy and compassion, wisdom and strength, key elements in achieving harmonious, effective leadership. As societies grapple with ethical questions, Athena's values continue to resonate. The discussions about responsibility, integrity, and empathy draw heavily from the ethical framework she exemplified. Her mediation in conflicts on Olympus and her decisions in the realm of mortals showcase a balance that leaders strive to emulate today. Her narratives highlight the importance of weighing all factors before arriving at a decision, a practice that remains fundamental in our structures of governance and leadership. Symbols of the olive tree and owl have endured through time as emblematic of peace and intellect. The olive tree, first planted by Athena in her contest with Poseidon to be the patron deity of Athens, stands not only as a gift of sustenance and trade, but as a symbol of hope and continuity. The owl, forever associated with Athena, persists as a representation of insight and acuity. Both symbols are revered across different cultures, their meanings unchanged, offering a timeless connection to Athena's enduring wisdom. Even in challenging times, Athena's narrative inspires those who seek wisdom, urging them to confront difficulties with the same calm, strategic approach that defined her character. Her influence is clearly visible in the way individuals and communities tackle problems, urging informed, thoughtful decision-making. Athena imparts courage to face adversity not through sheer power alone, but through intellectual resilience. Her story is interwoven with human history and culture, touching various aspects, from literature and art to philosophy and public service. Athena's presence is felt in the majestic institutions of learning, her image gracing libraries, schools, and universities as a patron of education and an enduring icon of enlightened thought. Her influence permeates every facet of artistic expression, offering inspiration for grand artworks and subtle allegories alike. As we contemplate Athena's lasting impact, we arrive at a peaceful understanding of her role, not just in ancient times, but as part of our modern lives. Her legacy encourages continual reflection on the virtues of wisdom and justice, nurturing a vision for a more thoughtful, just society. Athena's spirit lives on, urging us toward a future where knowledge and fairness prevail, where strategy and wisdom guide our every step. In this serene moment, with the glistening dawn heralding a new day, we are reminded of Athena's eternal presence. Her influence is not confined to the pages of myth, but extends into the reality of our world, a guiding force for those who strive to emulate her virtues. We carry forward her legacy, weaving her wisdom into the tapestry of our lives, ensuring that her impact remains as enduring as the ancient landscapes that bear the marks of her passage.